Hey everyone, welcome back to Money Mind Motion, where we cut through the noise and get real about smart money moves that actually build lasting wealth. I'm your host, and today, November 18th, 2025, we're unpacking one of the most game-changing topics out there. The psychology of money, how rich people think differently. If you've read Morgan Housel's bestseller, and if you haven't, drop it in the comments because it's still blowing minds in 2025. You know this isn't about stock tips or get-rich-quick schemes. It's about the hidden behaviors, mindsets, and psychological traps that separate the truly wealthy from the rest of us chasing paychecks. In a year where the S&P 500's up around 6,750, up about 16% year-to-date through mid-November per Yahoo Finance and Slick Charts data, and billionaire wealth jumped 17% globally, according to the latest UBS reports. Understanding how the rich think has never been more relevant. There are now over 3,000 billionaires worldwide with $16 trillion in wealth, and in the U.S. alone, we've got nearly 24 million millionaires. That's up hundreds of thousands just this year. But here's the twist. Most of them aren't flashy spenders or genius traders. They're everyday folks who mastered the psychology game. Today, we'll dive into 8 key ways rich people think differently, backed by real 2025 data, Housel's timeless lessons, and studies on self-made millionaires. By the end, you'll have tools to rewire your brain for wealth. Let's get that mind in motion. Section 1. Wealth is what you don't see. Let's start with Lesson 1 from Housel. True wealth is what you don't see. Rich people think differently because they know flashing cash, yachts, Lambos, designer everything, isn't wealth. It's often the opposite. Wealth is the money in accounts, investments compounding quietly while no one's watching. In 2025, with Elon Musk topping Forbes' real-time list at around $491 billion, you'd think he'd be the flashiest. But even he lives relatively modestly compared to his wealth, focusing on Mars missions over mansions. Contrast that with lottery winners or pro athletes who go broke. They spend to show, not to grow. The Ramsey Solutions National Study of Millionaires, still the gold standard and echoed in 2025 updates, found 79% of U.S. millionaires didn't inherit a dime. They built it through consistent saving and investing. UBS's 2025 Global Wealth Report shows America's 24 million millionaires hold 35% of global wealth, mostly in boring index funds, not flashy assets. Rich people think in invisible wealth. The option not taken, the house not upgraded, the vacation skipped so money compounds at 10% annually. Housel nails it. Spending money to show people how much money you have is the fastest way to have less money. In this AI boom year where tech stocks drove S&P gains, the truly rich didn't chase hype. They let time do the work. Think about it. A $10,000 investment in the S&P back in 2000 is worth over $60,000 today with dividends, but only if you didn't touch it. The psychology shift? Stop trying to look rich. Start being rich quietly. That's how you join the 24 million. Section 2. Compounding is the 8th wonder. Number 2. Rich people obsess over compounding. Einstein called it the 8th wonder, and in 2025, it's more powerful than ever. They think differently by playing the long game, starting early and never interrupting. Warren Buffett, still kicking at 95 with $140 billion plus, has 99% of his wealth from after age 50 thanks to decades of compounding at Berkshire. His mindset? Time is the friend of wonderful businesses. Look at 2025 data. The S&P 500 16% YTD return builds on historical 10% averages, turning consistent $500 monthly investments from age 25 into millions by retirement. Tom Corley's Rich Habits research, updated in 2025 Insights, shows self-made millionaires invest 20% plus of income automatically. Compounding turns savers into wealthy, but average folks interrupt, pulling out during dips, like the 2022 crash many sold low. Rich think in decades, not days. Housel says, good investing isn't about earning the highest returns, it's about earning pretty good returns you can stick with. In 2026 forecasts from UBS, with steady growth, compounding could add trillions as boomers transfer wealth. The psychology, patience over greed. Rich people know $1 million at 8% compounds to $10 million in 30 years. Magic no talent can match without time. Start now, even small. That's the rich mindset. Section 3. Getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. Lesson 3. Getting wealthy and staying wealthy require opposite skills, and rich people master both. Getting rich takes risk, optimism, boldness. Staying rich, humility, fear, paranoia. Housel hits hard. Many confuse the two and lose it all. In 2025, look at crypto kings who boomed in 2021, busted in 2022, and some rebuilt by learning humility. Forbes' 2025 list shows self-made like Larry Ellison, $276 billion range, and Jeff Bezos stayed rich by diversifying, not all-in bets forever. Ramsey study, 97% of millionaires live below means avoiding lifestyle creep. UBS Billionaire Ambitions report notes, billionaires in 2025 focus on legacy preservation amid $83 trillion great wealth transfer. The psychology? Rich think defensively after winning, building moats. Average think offense forever, blowing up. Example: Mark Zuckerberg, up to top 5 at approximately $250 billion, stays rich by long-term meta bets despite flops key. Know when to switch from gas to brakes. Section 4. Luck, risk, and never enough. 4 and 5 tie together. Luck and risk are siblings, and never enough destroys wealth. Rich people think differently by respecting luck's role without relying on it and knowing when enough. Bill Gates lucked into IBM deal, but skill scaled Microsoft 2025's AI surge made new billionaires, but many flame out ignoring risk. Housel's tale of Berlin's wheel, survival bias ignores failures. In investing, tails drive everything. One big win or loss changes everything. Rich mitigate risk. The never enough trap, seen in execs risking all for more, jailed or broke. Rich like Buffett know enough. Content compounds, happiness too. 2025 Deloitte surveys show high earners happiest with balance, not endless chase. Psychology, gratitude over greed keeps wealth. Section 5, freedom and time. 6. Richest dividend is controlling your time. Rich think money buys freedom, not stuff. Housel, wealth is having the freedom to say no. In 2025's remote work era, millionaires prioritize time over titles. UBS reports, billionaires invest in health, family, legacy over ego. Average chase promotions for money, rich build passive income for options. Mindset shift, money's value is freedom. Section 6, reasonable greater than rational, saving without reason. 7 and 8. Be reasonable, not purely rational, and save without specific reason. Rich think differently. Buffett eats McDonald's not because rational but reasonable for happiness. Saving, Rich save for optionality, not goals. In high inflation echoes, cash is king for opportunities. 2025, with rates cooling, savers win big. Conclusion. So, Money Mind Motion Fam, rich people think differently by mastering psychology. Invisible wealth, compounding patience, humility, gratitude, freedom. In 2025's booming market, these mindsets built the 24 million millionaires and 3,000 billionaires. Rewire yours today. Read, how sell, save consistently, think long-term, like, subscribe, comment your biggest takeaway. Keep that mind moving.